Hello, everybody! It is way late Thursday! I bet you some of you thought I was starting to forget you. Hello, Jennifer and Kitty! Kelly! Hello! Sorry I am so late tonight, ladies. Hey, Adele! I was on with a reporter for the last hour. And so I just hung up with this reporter. Yes, I am okay. As my mother would say, you were probably worried that I was in a ditch somewhere. How did I know you weren't in a ditch on the side of the road? Jewish mother syndrome. I've been on the phone the last hour with a reporter. So, all is good except for time goes into a sphere. Hey, Jennifer Dodds, good to have you with us. So, I truly apologize that I am late, but we all know how reporters work. Hey, Dennis, good to have you with us. Good to have everybody here for this late show. Hey, Eric, good to have you with us. Hope you and Amy are both well. Yes, Kelly. You knew my Jewish mother. Oh, that's great. Yes, Ronnie. Yeah, I just spent the last hour, Bonnie, with your reporter friend. So, I look up and saw the time. But you know, it was a good. You never know when you talk to a reporter what actually makes it, and some of the things you actually say versus what gets printed. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. So good to have you all with us. Yeah, the Catholic moms, the Jewish moms, they're all the same. You know, it's all the same stuff. How did but I used to say if you didn't hear it on the news, if, then I'm okay. I did talk about the PPP with him extensively, and it was a really good conversation, Bonnie. So we'll see, we'll see what he runs with it, what he prints, what he doesn't, but it was long. I mean, we were like an hour on the phone, Cassandra's like, it's dinner time, and I'm like, hey, Pat and the Peanut Gallery are with us. Great to have you with us. But yeah, I didn't make early dinner either. So we've been trying to do this early dinner before the show. That didn't quite happen tonight, but that's okay. I'll eat late dinner. I didn't expect it to when he called for it to go that long. Certainly didn't expect him to call this late. So, and he only knows of Massachusetts Tanglewood and the Berkshires and stuff. So I had to educate him about other parts of the state. So he's a good guy, though. I very much enjoyed our conversation. So what is everybody grateful for this Thursday evening? Let's get right into it. Tell me what we are grateful for this Thursday evening. Hey, Heather's with us. I missed saying hello to Heather. And Angela, I'm not sure I said hello to you tonight either. So what is everybody grateful for this Thursday night? You had extra time to think about it. Barb is joining us. Great to have you with us, Barb. Tell us what you're grateful for. There's got to be some good stuff happening out there tonight. What is everybody happy about? We had another good day in today. We've got 2 new people starting on Saturday. I'm grateful for that. Hey, Lisa, great to have you with us. Grateful that I'm not in a ditch. Hey, Bonnie, no need to call Park old there. Oh, that's great, Russ. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you're going to be able to spend Father's Day with Dad. That's awesome. It has been, Carrie. I saw that email. I haven't had a chance to respond to you, but I am so thrilled that you got it. The Dodds joined the Idol. All right. Doing forgiveness this weekend, and you saw the simplified form, Eric. That's great. Is your bank ready, Eric, for forgiveness? I mean, I know you're ready, but is your bank ready, Eric? That's what most banks aren't ready for it yet. So I'm curious for that. Awesome to hear that sales are up 40% at one store over last year. Yeah, sales have been very strong. Hey, that's great, Mandy. 18 years on business with a fantastic business partner and friend. Oh, Heather, that's great news. I love hearing about great sales. Don't know. Yeah, I'm guessing, Eric, they are not going to be ready. But I'm glad you're ready. And even I said to the reporter, I don't want to be the test case for. I'm ready. I'm ready for it, or as ready as I'm going to be. But I don't want to be the test case. I want to be, the fifth one in. Another good sales day for Pat, but I think, especially with what I posted last night, the forgiveness aspect is going to be much easier for most of us. So I am, for the overwhelming majority of us, are going to be able to use the EZ form, which will simplify things, and it will make it good. Yes, air conditioning. I was on the truck some today, Edwin. It was the air conditioning wasn't helping me when I was in the back of the truck. Best sales day in Newfoundland. All right, Karen, that is great news. I love hearing that. I think Eric's going to be educating his bank on it, so it's all going to be good. But it's all good stuff. And if we need to, we'll get Mnuchin on board and we'll get him. I hear he can do a PPP long form in 15 minutes is what he says. So I'll get him working on all of ours. We start every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Every night we start with the Good Morning, Good Night book. Let's see what page we turn to. Oh, I like this page. Kitty, who's the only other one that's got one. We're on page 158 tonight. Good morning, you. Yes, you. You, right there, looking cute as you want to be. Damn, you're going to knock them out today. Go. That is our good morning today. That is our good morning. 0 COVID cases in Newfoundland. I saw that. Hey, Bailey, great to have you with us tonight. Fair enough, Eric. I'm going to hold you to that. Hey, Julie Jankowitz, how are you tonight? Great to have you with us on the program this evening. Remember, all things are difficult before they are easy. That is my starting quote for the night. All right. Prospects are brightening for At-Home, Kroger, and Walmart. At-Home, Kroger, and Walmart look to gain store visits based on market circumstances, according to traffic tracker Placer.ai. At-Home has been in expansion mode, and Placer AI noted that traffic results suggest strong performance as COVID-19 movement and shopping restrictions loosen. Visits on Saturday, May 30th were up dramatically versus the equivalent Saturday in 2019, the company stated. If the pace keeps up, as June's performance so far suggests, the brand's 2020 should be exceptional. And similar things are happening at Kroger and Walmart, but at home, the home decor superstore is really seeing it. Over 3,200 new cases in Florida today. Oi, Russell. Is that why you're headed to Alabama? Long, tall Sally. But, on a positive note, Russ, in New York, the governor has announced that he is giving up his daily COVID briefings because things are stable enough. So Cuomo's dropping out of the daily press pool. Long, tall Sally winds down its business. Wow, I can't say that 3 times fast. Citing the challenges brought on by COVID-19 pandemic and uncertain economic outlook, the UK apparel brand Long Tall Sally is winding down its operations after 44 years in business. The company, which had run stores in the US, the UK, and elsewhere, now runs dedicated country-based e-commerce sites and ships globally. The company is not in bankruptcy and is open to finding a buyer, according to its website. The women's apparel retailer, which caters to consumers 5'8" and taller, also noted that it had closed all its stores in 2018 as competition grew fierce in 2017, and has been operating online only since. They aim to continue operating through August. Allbirds takes a step into the intimates market with eco-friendly undies collection. Allbirds is getting intimate with customers. Today the company is introducing its newest product category, underwear. The footwear and accessories brand is introducing Trino Undies, a collection of underwear for men and women made of its proprietary Trino material currently used for a sock collection. Trino combines the cooling, breathable, responsibly harvested eucalyptus tree fibers with a touch of soft merino wool. The brand had first introduced the material in a sock offering that includes running, no-show, short and tall styles for men and women. So they're getting into it. Allbirds is an interesting company. That is interesting. I didn't like this article. I'm going to come back. I'm going to skip that one for a second. Hey, Frank, great to have you with us. The no fitting room policy is having rippling effects on bridal shops and others across Massachusetts and in areas in other parts of the country where fitting rooms have not been allowed. But Massachusetts has been an outlier throughout this pandemic in its rules. And it is putting a kibosh. The no fitting room policy is certainly having its effect, and on things in. Oh my God, Eric! I'm so glad you joined us tonight. But I mean, think about not being able to try on a bridal gown or your tux for a fitting. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the Massachusetts policy. Some of the policies in Massachusetts is not leading the way. And Boston-based menswear retailer Blank Label files for bankruptcy. Citing a steep drop in revenue, Boston-based menswear retailer Blank Label Group has filed for Chapter 11. The company, founded in 2009, joins the ranks from Neiman Marcus to JCPenney, filing for restructuring. Blank Label's flagship store is in Boston's downtown crossing. The company also has a location in Boston's Seaport neighborhood, K Street in Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Atlanta. But company has seen a 90% drop in revenue over 3 months, and consumer demand has almost vanished due to people working from home. Hey, Joanne, great to have you with us. Sorry I'm so late tonight. Amazon rolls out augmented reality tech for real-time social distancing. Amazon has revealed details of its distance assistant technology that uses augmented reality to gauge the distance between employees as they walk warehouse floors and provide real-time feedback on social distancing. Amazon developed a solution that applies artificial intelligence and machine learning to the camera footage in its warehouse buildings to help site leaders improve social distancing. To improve the solution, Amazon engineers set out to use augmented reality to create a magic mirror-like tool to help associates see their physical distancing from others. The Distance Assistant provides employees with live feedback on social distancing via a 50-inch monitor, a camera, and a local computing device. That's a lot of tech to be carrying around. But nonetheless, interesting. I think eventually, what's going to happen is your phone's going to vibrate when you're too close to another phone. Or your smartwatch will or something. But Carrefour and Google launched voice-enabled grocery shopping. And a voice-based e-commerce grocery experience. The voice-enabled grocery service works via Google Assistant that's available on smartphones and other devices and is part of Carrefour and Google's strategic partnership signed in 2018. The partnership developed with Google gives Carrefour a head start in terms of technology and customer experience. The move is meant to simplify and personalize the grocery shopping experience while protecting the personal data of users. Here's how it works. The Google Assistant allows the user to add items to their shopping list by voice using common words such as butter. The Google Assistant's voice recognition technology helps it handle generic words such as fromage, product names like spinach dip, or brand names such as Carrefour Biocomate. Because the assistant is connected to Carrefour's e-commerce inventory, it's then able to convert that list into a cart of products available for sale, and shoppers can then also share their list with people who can add the items they want or add an optional voice match feature. I stick to the list when I go shopping. No laughing from the peanut gallery. Use a pool noodle for. I just caught that, Edward. That is good. I just saw pool noodles at the dollar store the other day, and said I need to stock up. But I wasn't thinking social distancing. Once the shopping cart's confirmed on the Google Assistant, the customer moves to Carrefour's e-commerce site to finalize the order. I don't know. I still personally find Russ's example of Alexa doing a better job. We have both assistants in our house, and I got to say, in general, the Alexa works a little better than the Google. But that's just me. Gap accelerates the rollout of warehouse robots to keep up with online demand. Eliminating more warehouse workers. Gap is scaling its picking operation for online orders with a smart robotic solution. Kind of looks like a Dalek faced with unprecedented surge in online orders and significant workforce disruption caused by COVID-19, Gap has added 73 units to its fleet of sort piece picking robots from Kindred. The specialty apparel retailer now has 106 Kindred sort robots installed in its U.S. distribution centers. Between January 1st and April 30th, the Kindred piece-picking robots, why is this such a tongue twister tonight, completed more than 13 million unique picks of Gap merchandise. During that time, the robots facilitated an average sorting speed of 335 units per hour and maintained uptime at 99.8%. That's better than their normal warehouse employees do. Gap has already deployed 20 of the new sort systems to its largest volume distribution center in Columbus, Ohio, and 10 to a center near Nashville, Tennessee, helping Gap to meet its increasing demand for online orders. There you go. Hey, Cynthia Riley, great to have you with us. Store closing sales have begun at 136 JCPenney stores. They've kicked off their first wave of store closing sales as it moves to reduce its retail footprint. Sales started at 136 stores yesterday, and they're operating under temporary reduced hours Monday through Saturday, noon to 7, and Sunday, 11 to 6, with enhanced safety measures in place. That's interesting hours. 11 noon to 7 and 11 to 6. That's kind of interesting. Hudson to roll out Sunglass Hut in-store shops. Hudson, which you may know from your airport newsstands and newsstands around the country, the travel retailer which has more than 1,000 stores in airports and commuter hubs, landmarks, and tourist destinations across North America, is partnering with Luxottica Group to open sunglass shops in shops after a successful pilot at Richmond International Airport earlier this year. Richmond International Airport ain't much of an airport, but Hudson plans to open 9 Sunglass Hut shops in shops by August, with a phased approach continuing into 2022. That's probably good for both of them. COVID-19 helps. Okay, I'm not sure this is going against what Russa says is happening in Florida, but COVID-19 helps Miami's Lincoln Road Promenade attract new tenants. Miami's trendy Lincoln Road shopping district will soon be welcoming the city's first Amazon 4-star location, among several other retail tenants that landlords there say have become attracted to open-air plazas due to the pandemic. The Lincoln Road district is home to some of the region's best retailers, cultural venues, and dining destinations, and it's this winning formula that has allowed us to overcome adversity. Landlords are in the midst of an effort to diversify the tenant mix on the 8-block promenade. Showfields, an experiential retailer that has attracted much attention in New York's Greenwich Village, is set to open on Lincoln Road. Other newcomers include Harry's Pizzeria, run by James Beard Award winner Michael Schwartz, Cortadillo Coffee House, Doc Martens, and Andre Carnes de Reyes, an international club restaurant concept out of Colombia. Amazon's 4-star 5,000 square foot space will be the first of 3 locations set up and open in Florida. The store presents a wide range of new products that have received 4-star ratings on Amazon.com. There you go. And I'm dropping stuff. I don't know that I agree with this story, but let's go through it. Let's step through it. The rich have stopped spending, and that has tanked the economy. The wealthiest American households are keeping a tight grip on their purse strings, even as their lower income counterparts are spending a lot more freely when they emerge from weeks of lockdown. That decline in spending by the wealthy could limit the whole country's economic recovery. Researchers based at Harvard have been tracking spending patterns using credit card data. They found that people at the bottom of the income ladder are now spending nearly as much as they did before the pandemic. When the stimulus checks went out, you see that spending by lower income households went up a lot. A Harvard economist said. However, the wealthy are not matching them. For higher income individuals, that spending is still way far off from where it was prior to COVID, and it has not recovered as much. That's potentially crippling because consumer spending is a huge driver of economic activity. In fact, so much of the country's economy depends on shopping by the top income bracket that the wealthiest 25% of Americans account for fully 2/3 of the total decline in spending since January. The wealthy aren't holding back because they don't have the money. By and large, they have lost fewer jobs and aren't the ones who are worried about making rent. They have a lot of discretionary income, and before the pandemic, were spending a significant chunk of that going to nice restaurants, the theater, or traveling, and staying in nice hotels. Those are precisely the things that have been off limits since the virus hit. That makes this very different from an ordinary recession, when spending on higher touch services doesn't dry up so quickly. And those experiences usually are a lot more expensive than food and other essential items, which the rich and poor alike have continued to spend on, but also make up a smaller portion of upper income household budgets. The study found that businesses that deliver in-person services in wealthy neighborhoods have seen the biggest drop in sales and are struggling to recover, while a retail store or takeout restaurant in a poor neighborhood might have seen some decline but is starting to come back now. Retail sales bounced back in May after a steep drop in March and April when the pandemic took hold in the United States. Powell pointed to the spending numbers as evidence that federal efforts to prop up the economy are working. But Powell, who was speaking before the Senate Banking Committee, also cautioned that businesses that rely on delivering personal services may not recover anytime soon. It spells trouble for the people who work in those nice restaurants or other service-oriented businesses. They found big losses, specifically among workers, many of whom don't make a lot of money, but who work in high-income neighborhoods. Many of those jobs may not be coming back anytime soon, and because it's not a lack of money that's keeping the rich from spending, the usual tools that the government might use to fight a recession are not terribly helpful here. From the perspective of people who are not living paycheck to paycheck, the main concern here is really fighting the virus. Unless we remove the threat of getting sick or getting your family member sick, it's hard to imagine that spending will recover to pre-COVID levels. Since a vaccine or effective therapy for the virus could be a year or more away, both Powell and the study suggest that people who have lost jobs in those businesses may need additional help from the government. There are going to be an awful lot of unemployed people for some time, Powell cautioned. 2 less today because we hired them. Just saying. Hey, Rick, good to have you with us. Powell beats the drum for more government aid to bolster the economy. The U.S. economy is beginning to recover from the worst of the coronavirus, but with some 25 million Americans displaced from work and the pandemic ongoing, it will need more help, Jerome Powell told lawmakers. We at the Fed need to keep our foot on the gas until we are really sure we are through this, and that's our intention. I think you may find that there's more for you to do as well, Powell said to Congress. It would be a concern if Congress were to pull back on the support that it's providing too quickly, he said. With the road back from the recession likely to take some time, Powell said interest rates will likely need to stay near zero for an extended period, and the U.S. Central Bank will continue to buy bonds to push down longer-term borrowing costs. But the Fed chief, who also testified before the Senate Banking Committee, noted that Congress must also do its part. Do your job, Congress! Referring to people whose jobs will be slow to return, such as those employed in the travel and restaurant sector, Powell said it was better to keep them in their apartment, better to keep them paying their bills. We should find ways as a country to support these people and help them through this difficult part of their lives, he said. It could be particularly important for Congress, I disagree with that, to extend in some form the extra $600 weekly payments to the unemployed that were part of the package passed in March. You would not want to go all the way to zero on that, he said. State and local governments as well as small business will need some aid. Yes, we will. His message was echoed later by Cleveland Fed President Loretta Mester, who said that while the federal government support has been sizable, so was the depth of the economic downturn. Further direct fiscal support will be needed for states and municipal governments for households most affected by the pandemic. She also said there should be increased investment on testing, contact tracing, and treatments to control the spread. Congress has allocated nearly $3 trillion for coronavirus-related economic aid, and the U.S. Central Bank has pumped trillions of dollars of credit into the economy to cushion it from fallout. But representatives have been hesitant to do more, and I think since they really aren't getting back at it, as I've said, till the end of July, I am very concerned, and we talked about it a lot when I was just interviewed, whether Congress will do the right thing moving forward as we get closer to the election. It is a real concern that may not happen as we continue to move forward to the election, and that there's just a lot of not looking good for that. Congress needs to grow up and do the right thing, and I have certainly continued to advocate for that and stress that in my dealings. Hey, Shannon, great to have you with us. Cheryl! great to have you with us as well. All right, we've talked a lot about the PPP, and we talked about how the updated PPP rules actually do allow, we talked about owner salaries and stuff last night, but technically under the 24-week rule, you can pay your employees more, okay? So, previous guide limited employee and owner pay to $100,000 on an annualized basis over the course of the original 8 weeks, which worked out to $15,000 for the full period. The higher cap of 24 weeks, okay, up would make it $46,000. And Congress and the SBA and Treasury actually have allowed for that for employees, okay, but not for owners, okay? Owners are still capped at the lower of $20,800 for a 24-week period, which is $868 a week for owners, and is consistent with the CARES Act. But I hadn't clarified that you could be paying your employees more. So if you have high earners, and I have worked with some stores that do have high earning employees, you know, then they can now $46,000 of theirs can go towards it. Hey, Lindsay, great to have you with us. But owners are still limited to either $15,000 or $20,000, depending on whether you use the 8 or 24-week term. So that is important. But again, most of you, overwhelmingly, okay, I have worked so many of your numbers, and I haven't since the new form came out, but overwhelmingly, the overwhelming majority of you will fall into one of the caveat categories for the EZ form. Okay, the new EZ form. What did I just do with my glasses? Hang on a second. I can't see if I... Where did I put them? I don't have my glasses any of my normal places. Okay. Well, that's going to be harder to read. 1 second. Let's go get the spare pair of glasses, since I can't see what I did with the other pair. Hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Got the other pair of glasses. I really don't know where I put these down. That's going to bug me, but we'll get over it. Okay, so most of you will fall into one of these two categories to be able to use the EZ form. That you either did not reduce annual salary or hourly wages of any employee by more than 25% during the covered period or alternate covered period, okay, or you did not reduce the number of employees or the average paid hours of employees between January 1st. And you get to ignore reductions that arose from an inability. This is key. Ignore reductions that arose from an inability to rehire individuals who were employees on February 15th if the borrower was unable to hire similarly qualified employees for unfilled positions. Also ignore reductions in employees' hours that the borrower offered to restore and the employee refused. So there is one option for you. The other is that you didn't reduce annual salary or wages of employee by more than 25% again, and that you were unable to operate during the covered period at the same level of business activity as before February 15th due to the compliance requirements established or guidance issued between March 1st and December 31st by the Secretary of Health and Human Services, the Director of the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, related to the maintenance of standards of sanitation, social distancing, or any other work or customer service requirement. If you can check one of those two boxes, yes, Carrie, you can still use the short form. Okay? So, the overwhelmingly, almost everybody here is going to be able to use the short form. Okay? So, the complexity has simplified by using the short form. Okay? It got much less complex, because ultimately the burden is then that you have to keep records. Okay, you are responsible for keeping records. They are trusting you. You are certifying that you have records. Overwhelmingly, of all the millions of PPP loans that were issued, only a fraction will get audited, and yours isn't it, but you should still have the paperwork to back it up. Okay, if I came into your store tomorrow, I want to see the paperwork, you should be able to provide it. Okay, and I'm not saying at the snap of a finger, but you should be able to provide it. And overwhelmingly, from what I have been talking with you all, you should be able to do that. So I am very, very confident that you'll be able to check either box 2 or 3 on the EEZ form, or both boxes 2 and 3, because you can check more than one. And then you will be eligible, as long as, again, that you spent this money on payroll. You still have to hit the thresholds for spending on payroll, which by Neil's rule is at least 65%, okay, on payroll. And when I was talking to the reporter tonight and I told him my 80% rule, he's like, oh, that's like really smart. I'm like, yeah, well, look at all the variances. You don't want to get caught up in a technicality for a rounding error, because most business owners think of payroll as what comes out of their account on payday. Okay? And that is payroll in most cases from their business. I teach, when I look at the hourly cost or the minute cost of payroll, it's one of the figures that we look at. But the reality is, for the PPP, there's some slight variations to that, because you can't include Medicare taxes and things, and Social Security as part of the PPP. But overwhelmingly, everybody is going to get this forgiven if we just follow these steps. I'm going to follow it with you, because you know how to get a hold of me by emailing me at Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com, and we'll just step through it. Just make sure you include your phone number with your email so that I can call you back. But we will step through this and get you to the other side. We will get you to forgiveness, especially once your bank is ready. None of the banks are ready yet. I know Eric's ready, but the banks aren't ready yet. But I expect that we'll start seeing banks ready right after the end of the month, is my guess. Is that banks will have their online systems ready for forgiveness and make it easy. All of the resources that I talk about are here first in the NARTS private Facebook group, but then they go to narts.org/resalestrong, narts.org/resalestrong, where you can share them with everybody in business. They are there free for the taking, because it's more important than ever to get every business on Main Street, on your neighbor, okay, the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. We're going to get everybody to the other side of this. It is so important that we do. I don't care how big or small they are. We're getting them all to the other side. Because, as Eric says, you can do it. Okay. He wanted to be the fast Abrams, okay? I got Abrams' son, you know. Hey, what do you want from Ellis Island? That's what they did to Grandpa. Okay, could have been Smuklerovich something or other, and we became Abramson at Ellis Island. But you can do this. We can do it. We will do it, because this is a blessing on your business getting this forgiven. Okay, it is. If you didn't get a payment book from your bank for your PPP, I actually love the banks that did it. Okay, and sent a payment book to you. Okay, letting you know what your payments were going to be on this, okay? It's about $500 a month for every $10,000 of your PPP, okay, over 18 months, okay? That's not a great loan. I don't care who you are, it's not a great loan. Not on top of everything else you're dealing with as you reoperate your company. So we're going to get you to the other side. We're going to get this forgiven. That is the path that we want you on. That's the street you're driving with me, okay? And you can do it. I am here live every night at 8-ish. Every night Eastern, okay? Cassandra really prefers the more 8 than ish, but I truly apologize for how late that I was tonight, making you all worried that I was in a ditch somewhere on the side of the road. But I am okay, okay? I was on the truck today. It was hot, but that's okay. We'll get to that. It's hot and humid here for the next 5 days. But we're open and we're glad to see our customers and our suppliers, and it's just great to be there for people. So we will be back here again tomorrow night live at more 8 than ish Eastern. Tomorrow night live in the Nards Facebook group. We start every day and night. Every day and night. We start with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every day and night. For those of you that were not here at the top of the program, we're on page 158 tonight. Our good morning was, good morning, you. Yes, you. You're right there, looking cute as you want to be. Damn, you're going to knock 'em out today. Go. Our good night tonight is good night. You. Yes, you. You there, looking fresh as hell. Check you out. Leaving a trail of people dreaming about you in your wake. Look at the graphics here tonight, people. Look at them. You got to get one of these books. I'm just saying. That is our good morning, good night tonight. That is our program tonight. Again, sorry so late tonight. But I'll be back tomorrow at more 8 than ish, bringing you the latest information that we have. In the meantime, if you need to get a hold of me, it is Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil at ECIstores.com. Don't hesitate to drop me an email. Make sure you include your phone number. I will call you back. We will all get to the other side. You can do this. Your community is depending on you. We got this. I'll be back tomorrow night because it's more important than ever that you and you, and especially you, yes, I'm pointing at you, are not alone running this store. It's time for dinner, everybody. Have a great night.